Well, hello, and welcome to the Tea with Tea. Today, I'm going to be talking about how spirituality helped me lose 100 pounds. Over the past few years, I've managed to lose 105 pounds, and I work every day to lose more because I still have more to lose, but I actually am starting to gain muscle now, so I haven't been losing as much weight for a little while, and I've been gaining muscle. But the biggest reason why I started to lose weight was because I started to return to my spirituality. Spirituality has been something that I've always dabbled in or felt pulled towards since I was a kid. But the programming of regular life has tended to pull me away from it and try to keep me from my spiritual side. But as soon as I start to return to that, I start to become a better version of myself. Because spirituality isn't just some woo-woo bullshit, honestly. It actually connects you with yourself, who you are, what you want, what you truly believe, how you believe the universe actually works, how life actually works. And once you decide what you believe, then you're able to become the best version of yourself. Because if you don't even know what you believe, that's where you need to start. If you don't know what you believe, how could you possibly be the best version of yourself? Because if you don't know how life works, how the universe works, how energy works, how are you going to be able to be the best version of you? You can't, in my opinion. So once I started to get back into spirituality, I naturally started to treat my body better. I started to eat better foods. I started to work out. I started to just be more active in general, because for a really long time, working out seemed like such a task or to do that I just never actually really wanted to do. I was like, ugh, I just don't like working out. And that was something that I decided for myself, was I'm the type of person that just doesn't like working out. And so it really started with me eating better, eating less. Because when I was at my heaviest, I used to eat a lot. So it really started with my diet and what I decided to consume, because it's not just how much you eat or if you work out, it's also what you're putting in your body. Because if you're eating fast food all the time, sodas, just putting junk in your body, then naturally you're not going to feel good. It doesn't matter how much you work out, doesn't matter how much you say you love yourself. If you're constantly putting junk into your body, you don't love yourself as much as you say that you do. Because all of that is toxic, especially with all these conspiracies about freaking babies being put in our food, in fast food, and all these fake foods being put out and everything. If you truly love yourself, you'll be more conscious of the food that you're putting in your body. I learned that the hard way, because on my self-love journey, I was like, oh, I love myself more than I ever have, but I was still eating junk. Yes, I had lost weight, but I went through phases where I would start eating fast food more often. And now I hardly ever eat fast food. Like, yes, on occasion, I want some fried chicken. So that's something that I have to deal with, though. I'm allowing myself to still do that. So if I was a completely healed version of myself, I wouldn't even need it. I would be able to make all the foods that I need and consume them in a more healthy way by making them at home with wholesome ingredients that I know are good. But anyways, everyone has room for improvement, right? Realizing what I believe, how I believe the world works, how energy works, and how interacting with other people truly affects you, it completely changed my perspective on life itself, how to treat myself, the amount of energy and effort that I give to other people. And I wholeheartedly believe that one of the biggest reasons that I've lost as much weight as I have is because I cut out certain people from my life. Because when you are connected to certain people who are like energy vampires, they constantly, whether they realize it or not, they're constantly sucking your energy, just constantly wanting more and more and more and more. That's going to affect you on an energetic level, which can affect how you treat yourself, how you treat your body, the decisions that you make. Maybe if they're still supporting you, saying, I'm going to encourage you to do what you're doing because that's what's best for you, then awesome, that's great. But these people who are toxic, who decide not to improve on themselves the way that you're improving on yourself, are not going to encourage you to do what you think is best for you. They're going to be like, ooh, this fast food is so good, or this cookie is so good, this soda is so crisp, whatever. And it's like, they're only going to encourage the side of you that you're trying to outgrow. The version of you that used to indulge in those things, they're just pulling that out or trying to. Even if they don't realize it, that's what they're doing. They're enabling. So sometimes you have to remove yourself from environments like that in order to actually be able to grow and become the person you truly want to be. I had to do that. Even though some people will even say, oh yes, I'm encouraging you to do what you think is best for you and I support you, their words don't match their actions. So even though they say they support you and want you to be healthy and do what you think is best for you, their actions don't coincide with that. So you need to remove yourself from those environments, no matter how much it may hurt. Some of the people you love may be stopping you from growing and becoming the person that you're supposed to be. And spirituality is what brought all this to light for me. Because like I said, spirituality isn't just woo-woo bullshit. Spirituality opens your mind to how life truly works and the fact that you get to decide how you live your life. You get to decide if you're the type of person that works out every day or eats healthy, or if you're the type of person who sits on the couch, scrolls their phone, and eats junk food all day. You get to decide that. And spirituality is what opened my mind to that, because the program, society, wants you to think that you have no control over your emotions and how you live your life because it's all influenced by external circumstances. Oh, my life sucks. I don't have enough money. I don't have this. I don't have a partner, whatever it may be. All these external circumstances or societal expectations cause you to think that you can't control your emotions and decide that you want to live your life differently. But spirituality opens your mind to realize that you can. I didn't think that I had the power to change my life. I really didn't. For most of my life, I thought life was just happening to me. And that's why I gained so much weight, because I found comfort in food. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just eating food. It's not that bad. People are addicted to drugs. We need food in order to survive. But that's another thing, is the way society teaches us we need food is incorrect. Go back to Stone Age. These people were eating maybe once a week, twice if they were lucky. And not because they didn't have the resources to kill. They knew how to hunt and kill their own food, or gather vegetables and fruits and things like that. And they knew how to do all that. But they still only ate once, maybe twice a week. Because when your body is constantly weighed down with food, especially the kind of food that they give us now, you are less connected to source. You are less connected to the universal consciousness or universal energy, whatever you want to call it. You're less connected to that divine nature of the universe because you were weighed down by all this junk. You were disconnecting yourself from source by weighing yourself down with all this. Like, I fast, and I'm actually just now getting back into fasting, but I've gone through phases over the past several years where I fasted. And when I fast, when I tell you, it is so much easier for me to meditate. It's so much easier for me to motivate myself, and I made a whole video about this, really more so get in tune with inspiration. Get in tune with the universe to get that inspiration, those downloads of inspiration to really decide what I'm going to do next, to take the next steps in my life. It's so much easier to connect with your true spirit, your true essence, your true self when you're fasting, when you're lighter. And not only that, fasting, after 72 hours, your body starts to naturally produce stem cells, which is what naturally heals everything. Fasting, as well as meditation, is all spiritual and can help heal your body. Stem cells is what naturally heals your body. So when you have different things going on in your body, there are a lot of different spiritual people out there and doctors and things that say, throw a fast at it, so to speak. Do a 72-hour fast. Do a 7-day fast. The people are so scared, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to survive. Don't we need food and stuff to survive? You have enough within your own body. Some people will take supplements, but your body naturally produces the things that you need. Now, don't take my word for it. Go do your research. I'm no doctor. This is all based on my own research. So this is not educational. This is just me speaking on my experience on what I've researched. So if you're truly interested in this, please do your own research and figure it out for yourself. But even after the first 24 hours, or I think it's even after the first 16 hours, your body starts to go into ketosis, where it produces ketones, which is actually where the whole keto diet came from. Because your body is going to burn more fat, more calories, more carbs, all that stuff whenever your body is in ketosis. That's why the whole intermittent fasting fad became a thing. In actuality, if you fast for more than 72 hours, your body can work wonders. You become so much lighter. You're not spending half your life in the bathroom because you have to poop all the time, because you're constantly eating. We do not need to eat 3 times a day. And okay, maybe I wouldn't go as far as saying only eating once a week, but honestly, especially with people who eat protein and nutrient packed meals, you don't need all of that every single day, multiple times a day. If you're eating 1, 2, 3 times a week, protein packed, healthy, nutrient meals, there's no reason that you need to eat so often. It's all a construct. It was all created with the educational system that was, I don't even want to get into that because that's a whole other conspiracy theory. But when the education system was created the way that it is now, they implemented these things like eating 3 times a day, the food triangle or pyramid, whatever, all that. Anyways, that's a whole conspiracy in itself, even though I truly believe it. But it's all a form of control. And when you tap into your spirituality and realize that society is actually not for you, they're not, the government, all that, they're not working for you, they're working to control you. It's all a system, and they're doing all this on purpose. None of this is by accident. So once you get in tune with spirituality, your own version of spirituality, whether it be the universe, God, Allah, whoever it is, I feel like once you finally connect with that and resonate with that, you realize that all this other shit is literally just bullshit. Spirituality is not woo-woo bullshit. Society, the government, all that is fucking woo-woo bullshit, to be honest. I say all this to say that once you get in tune with your spirituality and you decide what you truly believe about life, about how life works, the universe, energy, the systems that are in place to keep us under control, you're able to actually become the person that you're truly meant to be and treat your body the way that your body deserves to be treated, which is why I've lost over 100 pounds. Why I've been able to, because I love myself more than I ever have. And I realized that so many of the thought patterns that kept me in that state of continuously eating junk and just not caring about what I was putting into my body was all because of the systems that were in place. And once I realized that, once I understood that, I was like, well, I can just choose to be different. All these external circumstances that I've been through, all these negative things that I've experienced, I feel like were excuses to allow me to make bad decisions. And at the time, I thought it was out of my control, but it's not. You have the power to decide. I used to say, oh, I wish I was a person that worked out every day. So I made the decision and I became a person who works out every day. Well, like 6 days a week. It's sometimes more. You have to make the decision. Oh, I wish I was someone who ate healthier. Make the decision and become that person. I wish I was someone who posted on social media every day. Make the decision, become that person. It's as simple as that. And it all, for me, it all started with spirituality. So that's why I highly recommend, if you're interested at all in spirituality, looking into it. And conspiracy theories are what led me back to my spirituality, like how I was saying, the systems that are in place and the government and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of things that open my eyes to be like, wow, these really are just systems that are put in place by other humans. Well, what's beyond this? And open my mind to see that like they have no control. There's really no law except universal law. So once you realize that you have all the power, you hold all the control, you're able to create the life that you want and become the person that you're truly meant to be. That is how spirituality helped me lose over 100 pounds. I hope that sharing my experience, my life, and all this will help someone. That's really all I want. I didn't have someone to help guide me. So I want to be able to be that for someone who may have been like me years ago, or maybe like how I was years ago now. And I hope this message reaches them so that maybe I can just inspire them a little bit to do their own research, to decide what they truly believe and become the person they truly meant to be. So anyways, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening. I really want to hear from you guys. I know that I have a few consistent watchers or listeners, whatever, and I'd love to hear from you guys, your opinions, if you feel inspired by anything I say, or if you completely disagree. I just want to hear from you guys. So let me know. And for now, remember, I love you, love yourself, and let's grow together.